Good afternoon, thank you very much. Quick poll for today. Guess which one the developer is? Anyway, I'm Gareth Jones. I run Serverside here in the US, and this is my trusty Kiwi buddy who runs development for Serverside. And he's up here today to give me a hand demoing stuff. So anyway, let's give you a little bit of background as to who Serverside are. There's a little bit of a hint. That's actually my kids on a Wells Fargo card. So we really sort of pioneered the idea that banks should really be allowed to offer their customers the opportunity to participate in the branding of their payment card. We've spent really the last 9 years running around convincing people like Wells Fargo, and let's actually move on to the web now. I think that's enough for my kids. We've spent the last 9 years convincing people like Wells Fargo, Capital One, ING, Barclays, a whole host of other credit unions and small regional banks here in the US that actually allowing that participation in the branding of the card is actually a good thing. To date, we've done about 54 million designs, and actually let's switch to the web if we can. There's a little counter we've got going there. 250 banks in about 29 different countries. And we were rewarded 4 months ago with actually being acquired by a large French company called Gemalto. So a public thank you to all the guys at SSG for helping make that happen. Anyway, card customization is obviously fascinating. It's not new. The innovative step is how Andrew's helped us parlay that idea of card customization into a way that's allowing banks to relevantly engage with their customers in social media. So in places like Facebook, in places like Pinterest. The reason being is that we know that card customization drives fantastic revenue for those banks. We know that it increases revenue for them. We know, for example, that custom cards generate roughly 30% uptick in transactions, in swipes. We know that it increases the loyalty of the customer. We know that it increases the activation. And interestingly, during the 2008-2009 crisis, we had issuers telling us that charge-offs on custom cards had fallen off a cliff versus the rest of their portfolio. So clearly it was making a lot of money. And BBVA Compass actually got up on stage with me a little over a year ago and admitted that it was making about $45 for each individual card annually on a debit program for them. So again, that just gives you a sense of the value that these banks are getting. Now, at the same time, social media has just exploded. Facebook has obviously become the primary channel for engaging with individuals. Banks, though, are incredibly conservative beasts, and they certainly haven't invested particularly heavily in this particular channel. So Andrew really sort of came up with the idea and said that, guys, this has got to be an opportunity. You know, Facebook's got 1 billion users, or close to 1 billion users. People who are 35 and younger are spending more time on it than they are texting or emailing or communicating with their mates. That's great for us because most of the demographics point towards people 40 and younger customizing their card. Palo Alto research also told us that people were using Facebook at work 3 times more today than they were in 2010. And again, that's terrific for us because we weirdly know that people tend to customize their cards at Tuesday and Wednesday at lunchtime. And of course, Facebook happens to be the largest photo sharing website going. So terrific for us. Now, there's a little table which is not easy to see because my computer's not brilliant. But I think it points out that only 2 or 3 banks have really got hold of this and grasped this fact. They're not talking about banking. They're trying to engage their customers through other non-banking conversations. And that's important when engaging a customer through social media. So let's get into the app. Andrew, let's pull up your Facebook app. And you can see here that it's been branded as Serverside. And of course, obviously, we changed that branding to the financial institution partner we actually work with. And we're actually going to use some of Andrew's photographs from his recent wedding in Vegas. So all very exciting for Andrew showing off his Facebook photos. But as you can see here, we've created an HTML5 designer within a native app that sits in Facebook. He's making sure that his glorious pink suit is not hidden by the visa or the embossing. And at that point, and I won't show it today, we'll actually capture some information which will identify whether he's a new customer to our FI and therefore push him down an acquisition channel, or if he's an existing customer, he can go ahead and order that card through online banking. Now, at the same time, we need to make sure that Andrew hasn't uploaded a picture that would violate any of the the rules and regs that Visa or some of the other associations have out there. So in the image checking tool, we actually check, human beings actually check every image. We can see that he's behaving, apart from that filthy pink suit that he's wearing, and we'll actually accept that image, and at the same time, Andrew will get an email saying, great, we love your card, but at the same time, more importantly, that thumbnail design is appearing in his timeline on Facebook with a call to action for his 70 curated friends to actually click on, and they'll be driven back to the app for the FI to actually go create their card. So you can start to see, by using the simple idea of card design, we're actually starting to get a bank into a relevant conversation online and not just start talking about banking, which quite frankly seems to be a fairly boring topic for those folks in Facebook. The other thing that the app does is it allows the FI to run competitions. Everyone loves a competition in Facebook. So simply by going to this page and clicking the little love heart, we're actually registering likes for a particular design. And of course, we're able to present all of those back to the FI so they can actually reward the winner. They can even change the competition to different types of the year, so they can run a Christmas competition. Also embedded in there is the ability to share the image. So not just having a link which just sits passively in the timeline, actually allow a user to go in, and here's our marketing director on a horse, actually go and share that image, as you'll see here, with the Share My Design capability. The final piece, with 30 seconds to go, is the analytics behind it. We're able to actually start tracking who's sharing, who are the mavens in this, where is it being shared, who is really driving new customers back to that FI, which would then in turn potentially allow the FI to go back and reward that consumer. Obviously, we'd love to talk to you some more about the ROI of card customization, this particular app in terms of acquiring customers, ssgl.com, or come and see us at our stand at the back, and Andrew will tell you all about his T-shirts. Thank you very much.